Okay, so next we're going to move on to 242, which is going to be soil erosion and deterioration. It's going to go alongside the mass wasting, erosion, but we're going to look a little bit more just at the erosion part of it and the deterioration of soil. How does it get to a point where it's not viable anymore and a place where it maybe it used to be? All right. So as you can see from the previous section, fertile soil is imperative to our survival. Not only does good stable soil stop sudden mass movements, it provides many of the essential things plants need to live. These plants and the organisms are the primary source for both food and oxygen, both of which are essential to our survival. Now, we've lived using soil for as long as we've been here. The cradle of civilization was the Fertile Crescent. Why? Because it had fertile soils. We learned about that a long time ago, but it's because they were good for farming. Places that didn't have good soil weren't good for farming. Humans have not always done well or realized the importance of maintaining fertile soil, and thus we have enticed both erosion and soil deterioration in many places in the world. So there's 5 ways that we have destroyed soil, and you're going to look at these case studies. You're going to watch these on your own. I'm not going to play them in this video within a video. That would make sense. But please go to the blog and watch these. Let's give a quick overview. Agriculture and deforestation. We've kind of seen what that can do back in the mass movement chapters. But yes, soil, by deforesting, by getting rid of agriculture, or by deforesting and then putting agricultural land in, we can destroy the soils. By removing what was naturally there and then putting, in terms of agriculture, there are ways to do agriculture very well, especially when you plant things that are native to the region. But there are many farms, especially large industrial ones, that are going to grow things that either aren't native, require water, or require fertilizer, and require lots of tilling and all this kind of stuff that ends up deteriorating the soil. And so please watch that. Grazing and compaction. Animal grazing can have a huge impact on the soil structure and can compact the land. So these are animals. Now, animal grazing can be actually super good for soil, but when you have too many of an animal in a certain area, it can overcompact the soil. When it overcompacts the soil, it gets away from the drainage and the things that need in order to keep that soil good. And then those animals, because they are feeding on that land, if that vegetation then dies because the soil is not good anymore, then those animals will die as well. And finally, salinization. Please watch this video. This video is great about salinization. I may even play it in class. Salinization is a big, big problem in Australia. It is where the soil, if you can see it here in Australia, there's different ways that the soil becomes salty. So this is basically like where salt will enter the soil. When that happens, it basically chokes the plants and the plants die. What's happening in Australia is pretty unique, and I'll let them explain it in the video about how it's salinized. But other places can get salinized, not just by like putting salt on the water or on the ground. That wouldn't make any sense. But different ways that the ground can end up getting salinized. All right. So that is it.